Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining me again today. So we're just kind of hanging out in crypto world, right? Not doing much. But what's weird, right, is the stock market has been performing pretty well this week, essentially, and crypto has done nothing. Crypto's been going down. Bitcoin's been going down. So is that correlation over? And 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 is are they about to move in opposite directions? I don't know, but I wouldn't count on that. What I anticipate happening, right, is I think the stock market is due for a little bit of a correction back down a little bit, which is gonna really, I think, put pressure on crypto, and I think crypto, and particularly Bitcoin, might be in a little trouble here. So let's talk about that. Let's look at the stock market. So let's start with the stock market. So, I mean, it was pretty much flat today. The NASDAQ was up 0.4%, which is good. The DXY, yeah, the other important factor, it was down quite a bit today, down 0.7%. So, I mean, that's a big change. But, I mean, let's look at the stock market like the last 5 days, right? Look at that. I mean, the last 5 days, it's had a good rally. Very good rally, up 5% on the Nasdaq in the last 5 days. How about the Dow? The last 5 days. Let's check that out. That's up. That's not up quite as much, but it's up past 5 days. And let's check the S&P, which is, I think, what a lot of people look at, right? Last 5 days. Look at that. 2%. But then if you go to Bitcoin, right? Let's go to Bitcoin. It's gone down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 7th day in a row that it's gone down. I mean, Bitcoin's dumping, and I think if the slowdown today in the stock market, right? It was up big yesterday and the day before, I think, and then the slowdown today might be signaling a little bit of reversal in trend. And if that happens tomorrow, keep an eye on the futures that come out in an hour. If it starts going down tomorrow, Bitcoin in particular might be in trouble. And we're going to go down to those lower support levels that we talked about yesterday on my channel. So we'll talk about Bitcoin. So do me a favor before we get into the Bitcoin, because my Bitcoin analysis the last few weeks has been right on the money, right on the dollar pretty much. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe, help me spread the message, because you know what? We're killing it on this channel. Every trade we've brought to this channel, we're beating Bitcoin. Every single one. I brought 5 charts to this channel, and every single one is outperforming Bitcoin. Every single one. Not making it up. Go back and watch the videos. Every single one is beating Bitcoin. If you appreciate that and you want me to continue to bring those winning trades to this channel, give me a like, give me a subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when I'm making trades. So let's start with Bitcoin, right? And we've been talking about this for ever since we broke down below this red line, right? Before we broke below that red line, I thought it was going to hold. I thought that red line was going to hold, and when it didn't, I told you we were in for a long slog, right? And that I wasn't going to get excited about Bitcoin until we broke above that red line, held it for a week or two, or maybe a month even, came back down and tested it as support, and it held. And I told you, actually, when we were down here below the blue line and that upper red line, I told you that blue line was going to be resistance, but maybe not that strong of a resistance, right? Well, what happened? On July 8th, we wicked up to the blue line, got rejected. I mean, I told you that blue line was going to serve as resistance. Okay, so we got rejected right on the dot, right on the dollar amount. I mean, I couldn't have drawn that line any better, and I drew it weeks before we hit it. And then, so I said, but the stronger resistance is the red line that we broke below back here in, June 12th. So I told you that red line is going to be really strong resistance. Well, after we hit the blue line and broke it, and we meandered our way up to the red line, and look at that. I couldn't have drawn the red line any better. And that red line has been there. I drew that red line months ago. And I told you it was going to be resistance. And what happened? We wicked up to it, got rejected right on. I mean, I drew that line months ago. Look at, we got rejected right on that red line. And in the meantime, what were all your other crypto influencers telling you? That we're going to go to 28,000, that we're going to go to 30,000. I am the only person that I've seen that has that red line drawn right there, that had told you we're going to get rejected there. I told you in advance we're going to get rejected there. I haven't seen any other person talk about that resistance line in all of crypto Twitter, in all of crypto YouTube, in all of crypto. And I told you Bitcoin was going to get rejected there. And it did. And so now what I've been telling you, after we got rejected, after that was confirmed, right? After I was right on that one, now my question is, will the blue line hold? We are right on top of it. Excuse me. We are right on top of it. And there's an hour left to the day. Can that blue line hold? And can it hold today? Can it hold tomorrow? Can it hold through the weekend? If that blue line does not hold, I'm afraid we're coming back down to this lower red line, which you can see has served as support ever since we hit our lows. Daily support, right? So it held 3 different times, and I would not be surprised, right, if we close a daily below this blue line, we come back down to this red line. We break, we've been making higher lows. Higher low back here on June 19th, June 20th. Higher than a higher low on, the beginning of July 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And then even a higher low on July 12th. And then a higher low on July 25th. Well, we might, if we break this blue line, I think we're going to break this last higher low from June 25th, 6th, 7th, right? And we're going to break below that and come back down to this red line. That's my thoughts right now. It's all contingent upon whether we break that blue line, whether that blue line holds its support. If it doesn't, look for us to revisit that lower red line. That would, put us about, I think I measured it yesterday, about 20,000, right? So if we came down here today, we'd be right about 19.5, 19.7 or 19.6, so in there. But if we don't break it for come down to it for a couple days, right, it goes up to 19.7 or so, 19.6. So right around there. That's what I anticipate. And I'm not even saying that 19.6 number would hold. If we break the blue line, doesn't hold support, we go down and visit that red line. I think that's the next support level we need to watch. 19.5, 19.6, somewhere in there. If that doesn't hold, then watch out. Maybe that we're going to revisit the 17s, if not lower. Just my thoughts right now, because it's all lining up that way with the stock market, kind of doing well. Bitcoin in particular, Bitcoin not doing well. If the stock market takes a right turn, Bitcoin might get hurt a lot more. So that's my thoughts right now. So that's what that's what's going on in Bitcoin, the Bitcoin world. But again, I've been telling you for weeks and weeks and months since I started this channel 14 weeks ago. That's where you're not going to make the most bang for your buck in Bitcoin. You're going to make it in alts. And I brought 5 alts to this channel. All of them are beating Bitcoin. Every single one of them is beating Bitcoin. And I brought them each to you basically at the bottom of their chart of that crypto versus Bitcoin. 5 for 5, and I'm not making that up. Basically at the bottom. I mean, there was a couple that wicked down for maybe a week or two, like Polkadot, went down for a couple weeks, but I told you it was going to recover, and it recovered. But, like Ethereum, right? Ethereum, I told you about Ethereum at the exact bottom. Exact bottom. Oh, I can't type. And not 3 weeks too early, not 3 weeks too late. And I told you right down here at this, when we hit that red line, that it was going to hold. That red line was going to hold. And it did. And look, ever since then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 weeks. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 weeks. 8 of them so far have been red, or 7 of them have been red so far. This last week is red right now. So maybe 7 out of 9 weeks ever since I brought it to this channel have been green. I mean, I told you at the exact bottom. So if you appreciate that, do me a favor. Help me spread this message, because making the most bang for your buck is not in Bitcoin. Alt season is here. Alt season is here. I'm telling you. 5 alts I brought to this channel, 5 are beating Bitcoin. And when the market turns around, and it will, Bitcoin's gonna rip, but those other 5 are gonna rip more. Now, what we've been talking about in Ethereum is because what I wanted to bring it up. Ethereum is up like 40% versus Bitcoin since I brought it to the channel. 40%, right? I mean, 40%. And my target was just slightly less than 50%. So I'm still holding it. I'm questioning whether that's the right decision, but I'm still holding it because I'm still thinking we're going to get up to where I think we're going to get up to. But what I was going to say is that's nothing in comparison to what I think you're going to get a return in ADA and in Polkadot and in Aave and in Matic, right? All of them I think are going to double versus Bitcoin when the market takes off. When Bitcoin starts to rip, those are going to rip extremely much higher than Bitcoin, percentage wise. So let's talk about Ethereum real quick. I told you when I got into it, I was waiting for this upper blue line, which would be like a 48% return, almost a 50% return. And when that happens, I anticipate Ethereum to get rejected and come back down and visit this red line again. We'll see if that happens. We'll see. But if it does, when it gets closer to that blue line, that's when I'm gonna start taking profits. So follow me. Follow me on Twitter at @crypto_liberal, and I will tell you when I'm getting out of Ethereum. Follow me on this channel. Hit that bell notification so you know when I'm making new videos, and hit the like and subscribe button because more people need to hear this message. More people need to know that they missed out on a 40% return versus Bitcoin. Meaning if you had taken 1 Bitcoin the night I told you about it, that night, 1 Bitcoin and moved it into Ethereum, you'd have 1.4 Bitcoin. 2 Bitcoin into Ethereum, 2.8 Bitcoin. Just by moving it out of Bitcoin and into Ethereum. And that doesn't even account for the other 4 that I brought to this channel that are all beating Bitcoin. So, hope you appreciate that message. And that's it for today, right? That's it. I mean, they're all our little crypto portfolio that we're tracking. It's, ADA and Ethereum are both outperforming Bitcoin. Like I said, they would I'm saying it daily for 14 weeks. They're still outperforming Bitcoin. And I didn't even say they'd be outperforming by now. I said at the end of the year, they would be outperforming. And so the fact that they're outperforming already is just giving me more bullish vibes that by the end of the year, they're going to leave Bitcoin in the dust. I'm starting to think Bitcoin's a relic. It's a relic. And you want to be in these new protocols that are going to give you exponentially higher returns than Bitcoin. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. None of this is financial advice. You got to do what you got to do, but I'm doing what I do, and I'm just sharing it with you. So I hope you have a good night. My name is Mike. I'm the Crypto Liberal. Have a good night.